losing virginity. This is my story. So, there are so many different types of sex in the world and all these things and such, but when I was a youngster, in my head, growing up, I only knew that sex was, like penetration, male, female, boom, you had sex. So I lost my girl virginity a lot faster than I lost my boy virginity. And what I mean by that is I was with a chick a couple of years before I was with a guy sexually. So I lost my girl virginity to a girlfriend. I put that in air quotes because I'm fucking 13, 14 years old. And I could not tell you, I don't have any memories of the moment. I don't have any memories of knowing that after it was over that I just had sex. Like, if I were to do those same things today, I would be like, oh, I totally banged a chick. But now, at the time, I didn't know. And so I couldn't tell you the day, I couldn't tell you the time, I couldn't tell you anything, I could only tell you the person. And if you are curious, you can go to wedgeaholics.com and read chapter 1 because it's all about my very first girlfriend. So I can't tell you too much about losing my virginity to a girl because I don't really remember, because it wasn't something where I was like, oh, that was sex. Completely different story now that I'm an adult. And then I lost my virginity twice again to a boy. He was my boyfriend. I had a problem with sleeping with him at first because we had an age difference. So I was 16 and he was 14. And even though he was about to turn 15, it still was like, oh my God, you're 14 and I'm 16. And at that time, it was a huge like age difference. And I was very even apprehensive about, I hated that I liked him. I hated that it was uncomfortable. Oh, and I should probably pause right here to let you know that the boyfriend that I lost my virginity to is cousins with the girlfriend that I lost my virginity to. Yeah, part of the reason why I write books is because I got these kind of weird stories. So yeah, the time I lost my virginity to my boyfriend, I was in his house, nobody was home. We kind of planned it, but not really. And he had shared a room with his brother, and they had bunk beds. And we were messing around in his pool, and one thing led to another, and I was like, okay, like, let's fuck, kind of thing. I mean, I didn't say that. I was really much a lady then. But we got in his bed, and I look up. So now he's, like, about to be on top of me, and I look up, and on his ceiling is, like, he's my boyfriend. So, like, I see my picture, right? And in that picture is me and my friends, and one of those friends being my girlfriend at the time, aka his cousin, aka the chick I lost my girl virginity to. So I'm literally laying there about to be mounted by my boyfriend, looking at my girlfriend, and it was just like, this is probably not so, like, this isn't good. Anyways, it was on a red bunk bed, and it was not his first time, it was my first time. It was not his first time. He was a really sweet guy, really nice guy, and I remember doing it, and then I almost like wasn't ready halfway through, and I kind of was just like overwhelmed and was like, I can't, like, okay, we have to finish. It wasn't a bad thing. He wasn't bad. I wasn't bad. Like, it was just like, I just was like, holy shit, I gotta slow down. Like, I gotta slow down life. Like, I accepted that I just like had sex, but like I needed to like internalize what that actually meant. I actually left his house that day. I left my boyfriend's house and went to my girlfriend's house. And I remember walking into her front door, and she looked at me, and she knew I was dating her cousin. And she looked at me and she was like, I could remember her look on her face, and she was like, you fucking like did, like, you had sex with him. You had sex with your boyfriend. Like, astounded look on her face. Like, she knew. It was weird because we were like best friends. It's so complicated, but those were my two losing of virginity stories. And you should never have sex with anyone unless you are 100% sure. I mean, losing your virginity, of course. You should never be doing something you don't want to do. Make sure you're emotionally sure, and make sure you can trust this person. And with both of these people, maybe because they were raised in the same family, that they were very considerate. God. Okay, I'm just saying, you want to make sure you're ready. I was ready. I thought I was ready at the time, and over the course of my life, I have also stolen a couple of virginities, and I try not to think about it. Not because it's a bad thing, but because I know it's a very personal thing for someone to go through, and they have to like go through the steps of being like, I just had sex for the first time. Like, I have to see how I feel about that. And it's a very like self like process. And so I have taken some virginities, and I am so certainly proud of it, but I kind of don't even really think too much about it. And yeah, so that's the story of me losing my virginity twice. God, I love that family. Go to wedgeaholics.com, read my books, and shout out to Dr. Heidi, who gave me some sweet Bose headphones. And I've never met her, but she seems really, really chill, and she reads my book, and she's watched my videos, and I would really like to meet you in person one day, and the headphones are sick, and that's all I gotta say. We're done!